Hello and welcome to another Solo Leveling Arise video. In this video I'll be going over the notices that we just got for the next big patch coming out on Wednesday. So I'm just going to go briefly through these. We have, of course, a lot of new things coming up in this patch. We've got the maintenance scheduled, which shows that for UTC or GMT time, it's going to be happening basically 10 minutes before reset and then ending 5 hours after reset happens. So hopefully everyone knows generally what time that is. There's a lot of time zones I know that everyone's in, so just yeah, it happens basically at reset and then 5 hours after reset or 10 minutes before reset. So make sure you guys get everything done, not last minute tomorrow. So then we're going to go over maintenance details. We're going to go over, it has the original story hidden chapters added, which would be nice. Side chapters get done. New Hunter SSR, Amamiya Mire, and her exclusive weapon, the Bunny Bun Bun, is going to be added. So I guess that's going to be the I guess the Daikatana that she has. The new Sung Jin Woo and Hunter weapons will be added. So I guess that means the SR weapons will be added. I don't think it wasn't really covered in the Korean live stream or Korean dev stream on that at all. And then Sung Jin Woo's weapons, we saw that it was going to be a Marlin for a weapon and a kebab for a weapon as well. So we'll see what those are going to be like. New costumes, wow, new costumes added. Yeah, it seems like there's going to be quite a few of the new the swimsuit costumes are going to be added. So those are going to, it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be quite a few. The costume dye system is going to be added. I'm really interested in that. It looks like basically for each costume that it's applied to, that there's going to be 4 different colors for it. The new shadow, of course, being Cerberus added with the critical hit damage that it's going to be buffing will be nice. We'll see how well that scales, especially compared to Tusk. I'm not expecting it to be higher than like 20% in total, because anything higher would just be really strong. Max level and activity funds expansion. So max level is going up by 5. It's going to be 85, and with that, the activity funds will be expanded. I know that activity funds are expanded in 2 ways. One is the max hunter level, and the one is based off of Sung Jin Woo's level. So hopefully it's an expansion of both, so we get more money and experience from that. New difficulty of Workshop of Brilliant Light added. That's going to be the hard difficulty added for that. So that's the race that's really starting. The first 3,000 people are basically going to get recorded on that. I get something special. So good luck to everyone on that. New bosses for Instance Dungeon and Encore missions added. This is really good. We're going to get level 75 equipment basically of the older sets. New artifacts added. I think that's just going to be just upgraded versions. I don't know if we're getting new sets, but it'll be interesting if we do. Artifact salvage feature added. This was covered. This is basically going to be we can salvage things. It's going to be kind of like the event where we're able to trade in some stuff, but also we will be, when we salvage, we will get artifact enhancement chip 1s for anything below level 15, and things 15 and higher will also get artifact enhancement chip 2s. So this is going to be a big change from what we had in the past. Hunter Archive new stories and secret library added. I'm guessing that's going to have Amamiya Mirai's story, and then also a secret library. I don't know whose secret library is going to be though. That should have another costume in it. Should be interesting. SR Hunter exclusive weapons added. So actually, I guess there is more. So I wonder what the Hunter weapons added is going to be if they have SR Hunter exclusive weapons here. I'm not sure what this entails. I don't think that was really covered unless they're doing something kind of for the summer event that's happening. But I'll look at that when the patch hits. New events added. That's of course the summer event. New packages added. We'll see that down below. And then improvements and bug fixes, balance changes to certain hunters and blessing stones. I'll also go over this a little bit later. Stuff that is ending. Basically, everything for the month is ending. All the events are ending. That's pretty much it. The bonus shop's getting changed. Additional information, bonus tab reset. That's, of course, we'll be getting a whole new set for that. Maintenance compensation. This is big. So Essence Stones 300, Gate Keys 1, that's okay. Weapon Enhancement Gear 2s, there's 10 of them. But then we get a whopping 2 million gold. That is great. I mean, I'm predicting that, you know, with every single hunter going from 80 to 85, it's going to end up being, I don't know, like at least 12 to 20 million gold for upgrading. So this is a nice little bit of help. It's definitely a big help for people that aren't level 80 yet. So I like this a lot. Normal notes, usual stuff. All right, next we'll go on to the other notes here that they have for the hunter and blessing stone balance adjustments. So here for Yu Su Hyun, magic reaction decreases the target's recovery rate by 4%, stacking up to 20 times. I'm guessing we're going to see a couple of more bosses that can heal besides the spider, or the demons that heal when they hit you. So this is going to be interesting because now that will be the third hero that can decrease recovery rates, which means we'll probably see Cha becoming more effective or more useful, especially if you don't have this character. Here they change it so that the kill shot and the core attack, in order to trigger each other, they don't have to hit a target, they just have to be used, which is great. A lot of people were missing with their attacks, and then when the targets were moving, so this is better. This is a really good increase for her. And then while the user uses Hellfire, they gain the super armor effect. This is kind of okay for me. Pretty much when you activate a Hellfire, you want to be switching or QTEing into the next character. So this is kind of only useful if for the people that weren't using that tech, or for when you use her in POD or something where she's controlling herself. But I mean, it's a little useful, but on her other attacks would be a whole lot better, especially kill shot or her core attack. Moving on, when the user uses trick or shot, it gets them the attack increase rather than hitting. Again, this is really good in case you're going to miss. Trick shot's kind of hard to miss with though. Increase the range of kill shot, Hellfire, and perfect shot, and adjusted it so it basically tracks better. And then trick shot, it decreases the skill casting duration when casting the skill. Nice little changes to make her a little bit better. It's not so bad. Then we have more changes to the ever-changing Wu Jin Chol. We have it here so that he gets super armor after doing his dash, and then yeah, so it's more super armor for him. Decreases the cooldown of dash by 1 second. That's not bad. The user's defense penetration increases by another 10. It goes like 10%, so 2% increase. When the user uses basic attack 4 times, it increases their tier 3 passive. Let's take a look at the tier 3 passive here real quick. Let's see. So tier 3 passive on him. Let's see. Tier 3 passive is when you use dash, extreme evasion, or judgment, it decreases the cooldown of mediation of power, and Iron Fist by 2 seconds, and activates the user's core attack. After using judgment, it activates the user's basic passive and enhances the effect. The user's damage is decreased by 30 to 35%, and duration is 7 seconds. So heading back, it looks like, so this will activate now. Instead of dashing and stuff, it will also activate when you use your basic attack 4 times. So it will get his attack up if you don't have dashes or something like that, which is nice. Here we have basic attack. The Fist of Justice now deals weak break damage, so he'll be doing weak break on every single one of his attacks. This means like basically on like single targets for the greed set, he'll be building up the greed stacks pretty fast, probably faster than anyone else in the game. It's it's faster, but Bake still was getting his up fast, and so was Seo, but it's still useful. It'll be up pretty fast. Um, when this skill hits, it's all right. When this skill hits, it inflicts stun on the target for 3 seconds for suppress. Cooldown 20 seconds. That's not bad. It's pretty useful. If you are in certain situations. Certain situations you can stun some guys out of stuff. Like Igris, you can stun him out of things. I don't think you can stun the golems, which is mainly what you would want to be using a windbreaker on. But that's not. I guess it's kind of useful, kind of not. For mediation of power, when the user uses the skill, it grants a shield equal to 2% of Wu Jin Cho's defense to the team members for 20 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. This is going to be great if you are deciding to use him as support and you want to throw the Guardian set on him. Then he can basically buff everyone. If you want to go like 4-piece Guardian or 4-piece Greed on him, he could give pretty good buffs across the team. And here's a big one. When the enemy enters the break state, all team members' wind damage increases by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12%, excluding the user of the skill. And this is basically all through the tiers for his weapon advancement. So this is really good. It says the duration is infinite. I don't know if this is if it enters the break. So it says when it enters the break state, it increases everyone's damage, and the duration is infinite. So does that mean if you break it once, and he's on the team, then all of it's going to be applied? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy because that means if you break something once, then it's going to have a permanent 12% more damage from wind. I'm just that's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially if you're running like a Battlefield of Chaos or even against Dragon. Oh my word. If this works on Dragon, you bring a West Wind. That's actually crazy. We'll see how this works, but that's actually crazy. Then we have SSR, we have Choi. Choi, they're increasing his attack and defense penetration by 4% more. And then Advancement 2, his attack is going up by another 2%. And here's a huge buff. His Advancement Tier 4, which is normally increases his burn damage by 100%, is now also increasing the user's fire damage by 16%. So that's a huge buff to him. This is a 4% to attack, 2% to attack, and another 16% to his fire damage. So when something's elementally weak, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Here they have it so that his Rain of Flames, Flame Spear, now charges up 2 times faster instead of 1.5 times faster, so we'll be using ultimates faster in Battlefield of Chaos and POD. And then here, if you do his basic attack 4 times, it's now recharging his core attack, so that will be firing off faster. Rain of Flames skill hit range is increasing. That's really nice. Mega Crater is also increasing. I don't think that really had an issue hitting multiple targets, but I guess it's nice for skill hit range. And then Flame Spear skill hit range. This kind of you have to be close in order to hit with, so it's not bad. We're moving on to Chahayin. When this for her Dancer skill, when the skill hits, it applies Waltz. So it's not when it's criticaling anymore. It's as long as the skill hits. So this is great. This is great because it's always going to activate. It's not going to be, oh, I hope she hits with this and crits. It's when it hits. So it's always going to activate now when it hits. That's fantastic. And the cooldown is now 12 seconds instead of 20 seconds, which means you can run like the concentration of firepower set with her, and you don't have to worry about using this and then having it not activate at when the skill comes up. Because before, if you ran this, the skill would come up sooner than the 20 seconds. You would use it, and even if you did crit, it didn't activate. When this skill hits, it becomes unrecoverable. I wonder what it means by unrecoverable. I wonder if this means that it's also activating what her Sword of Light, her E skill used to be, which was making so the enemy can't recover. So I think that that's what it's doing here. So all of her skills are making it unrecoverable. Again, pushing that there's probably going to be more bosses that are going to be healing, and you're going to want her in your team to make her more useful. Then we have Waltz of the Sword in team fight mode. The duration becomes 6 seconds. I think that's shorter. I think it's 8 seconds by default. Then we have Emma changes. I don't think Emma needs buffs, but here we go. At 15 instances, the heat emission effect applies to team members as well and increases their fire damage by 7.77%. I thought I already did that. I think that the defense penetration was affecting other things, but this makes her more viable for fire team synergy. Applies 5 instances of heat absorption when entering the stage. This is very nice. She'll start off already. I guess it makes the Guardian set more viable having on the team with her, because this will be at A3. This affects everyone, so it's nice because this goes on the whole team. Moving down to the Blessing Stone adjustments, we have the Wolf Assassin, which is damage to normal monsters. At rare, it's going up by 1.5%, heroic 3%, and at legendary 4%. This still, I don't see it really being used unless we have a massive amount of like survival. If you have a survival mode coming out, I can see this being used, but this is not. No one really will use a Blessing Stone slot for this. Going down to Conqueror of Adversity, we'll just jump down to legendary or heroic ranks for this. When your HP decreases, you now gain more stats. This going up 5% for 15%. This will be useful. I guess on some of the harder content, POD, it's really not going to be used on, but I can see Battlefield of Chaos or some hard modes this being used, or more story as we move forward. Candiaru's Blessing we have here, so we're increasing the rare amount HP by 2%, heroic amount by 4%, and legendary by 6%. I still don't see this one really being used. Max HP is really only referenced for one of the skill runes in the game, so I don't see this one really being used that much. Demon Slayer. So this one just increased your straight MP before, now it's increasing your MP by more, and you recover by a certain amount of MP per second. Again, with proper management, I don't see this one really being used because MP wasn't really an issue, except in very extreme cases, and you still would not waste an offensive slot for this. Unless you want to work something weird with the SR book for having more max MP, then that can be a thing because your attack increases based off of that. So here we're moving down to Tenacity. Tenacity, it's making so that instead of just decreasing the amount of damage you take, you'll also be getting a defense increase. That still all activates when you are less than 30% HP, which is a bit extreme to have something activate. But I don't see really this by itself being a good increase. Maybe comboing this with the Light Almighty Break and stacking that up with this, you can get a high amount of defense, but I still don't see building up defense as a viable thing that you would be doing as much. Moving to Kasaka Steel Scales, this not only decreases the damage you take, but increases received shields. This is probably one of the biggest increases for defensive stuff that you could add. The shields stack up really fast, especially if you're running multiple types of shields. Say you're running Sayo and you're running the Crosshairs Reap, your shields can build up pretty fast. So this is not bad. As a defensive Blessing Stone, I think this is probably the best one. Chains of Blood we have here. This basically is just making it so that they change it so you don't take as much damage. It's stuck at a flat rate of 10% damage increase rather than a scaling damage increase as you took more damage before. The damage increase stays the same as it should have. That is a very high amount for a Blessing Stone. But again, I still don't really see this one being used that much, but it's more viable now. In POD, it's not going to be used. There's a chance it could be used in Battlefield of Chaos. And then in storyline, I would see this being used. So it's actually it has chances of being used. Just end game right now is POD, and if you are focusing POD a lot, you're not really getting hit or even hit enough for this to ever take effect in any good capacity. Next, we're moving down to HP extraction. So now instead of recovering your HP when defeating an enemy, you will recover a certain amount of HP when defeating an elite. At rare, it's 2%. When hitting an elite or higher monster, so a boss of some sort. Heroic, it is 3%, and at legendary, it is 5%. The cooldown is kind of extreme at 30 seconds, so I don't think this is really that useful. I mean, it's activating less than like Min or Mei Ling would be used as a support, so I don't see this is not that great. I would not switch an offensive slot for this. I guess that's it for all the changes. So once again, I hope you guys find this video useful. It's just a quick take of the what's going to happen after tomorrow's maintenance. And yeah, I hope everyone found this video useful, and let me know what you guys think about the possible combos and stuff that's going to be happening with the changes. See you in the next video, guys.